Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Montreal. We are at Villeneuve circuit, and we are here to watch the third race in the AAA GT3+Cadillac Championship. We haven't had any Cadillacs joining today either, which is a pity. Today we have all the other cars present. The McLaren that we're watching, looking at now, Andy Morgan doing some qualifying laps. We also have the Ford GT here with Jürgen Peterson, and also plenty of roughs. And the rough is Porsche. Rough is a manufacturer in Germany that rebuild cars for racing and street purposes. So it's pretty much a Porsche with just a little bit different name. So we had some interesting fights here today, and also some incidents. I think we had a world record in a long jump with a race car. I think we had a distance of about 100 meters, and also I think about 15 somersaults, or whatever you call it in English. We'll have a look at that a little bit later. So we're gonna move through the field here a little bit, see who else is on track. We have David Sostello here in a rough, and Johan Hallberg is with us, also rough also. So the qualifying resulted in a grid, and the grid we're going to have a look at right now. On pole position again we have Jürgen Peterson in the Ford GT. He hasn't been able to get off the line properly for the last first races. We'll see if it goes better today. In second we have Jelena Medvedeva in a McLaren. New car paint for this week, looks nice. Third we have Johan Hallberg in a rough. In fourth on the grid we have Rick A. James in a Rexona sponsored rough. David Sostello racing for Forex Racing. Same paint job I think since last week as it is. We have Jimmy Nilsson in a rough also. JPS sponsored Klaus Peterson, reminds me of the old Formula 1 cars in the 70s and 80s. Jonathan Taylor, Sprunk sponsored Porsche or rough. Never heard about Sprunk soda. I don't know if it exists or if it's just a made up name. Car paint however looks nice. Forex Racing, also Andy Morgan in a McLaren. The cars are starting to rev up, and we will have the green lights here in a moment now. And there we're off. Jelena makes a good start. Jürgen misses a little bit as usual, not as bad as many of the other races. He managed to stay in second position right off Jelena as she goes into T1 and 2. Qualifying time difference between Jelena and Jürgen was I think less than a tenth of a second. So we're in for a good race here, hopefully. Jelena on the other hand only did 1 or 2 qualifying laps I think. So I think that she will have more speed up her sleeve. The McLaren is four-wheel drive, and it has been showing that it has a benefit. Well, the slippery parts of this track, there are a couple of corners here that are really tricky to get out of. It is the acceleration out of T2, and then you have after the second chicane also slippery. We'll see some cars there going into the wall. Practice all week has also been a lot of complaints about it's easy to lose a rear end there. However, it's better there because it's four-wheel drive. So going down the straight on first lap, everyone is with us. We have Jelena up in the lead, followed by Jürgen Peterson and Johan Hallberg in third. Johan did fairly okay qualifying lap times also. Here in the corner and loses the rear and spins, and he will lose a lot of positions, probably down to last. Yes, he's down to last. The curbs on this track are very, very high. So if you cut like he did there, you're doomed. There's no way to really get out of that. You're lucky if you don't spin. So unfortunately, Johan are out last. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him fight up a couple of positions at least. Here we have a good fight between Jimmy Nilsson from Sweden and David Costello from the US. Both in roughs. It's the fight for third position. So I have here Rick James up in third, and he's actually, it looks like he's keeping up fairly well, at least with Jürgen and Jelena. There we have a crash, and we're going to go back and have a look at that. It's the fight for third position. So we were just watching. It's David Costello and Jimmy Nilsson, and Jimmy goes out of the chicane and loses the rear end, and he unfortunately takes David Costello with him. And here we have the long jump and somersault world record I told about before. That I counted that in slow-mo. It's actually 15 laps or revolutions, whatever you call it. And we're gonna go back and have a look at that from a little bit of a distance. You will see how high that is. So we're looking at this from blimp view, and it's actually David Costello goes a little bit wide here, loses the rear end, and broadsides Jimmy Nilsson. So Jimmy Nilsson is turned sideways, and after comes Andy Morgan with his McLaren low front, and his he makes Jimmy Nilsson go airborne, and he actually blows his engine in mid-air. I've never seen anything like this. I've seen cars using other cars as jump ramps, but this is by far the most spectacular crash I've seen. Okay, back to the race. Just passing start-finish line is Jürgen Pedersen, still in second place after Jelena, and the difference between them is just about 1 second. The pace is at 1:36, low 1:35s, which is good lap, good pace around here. In third, we still have Rick James. And Morgan actually kept driving after that incident. It looks that you can't see any damage on his car. That's amazing. So well, just congratulations on that. Could have ended his race for sure. And in fourth position, followed by Johan Hallberg in fifth, Klaus Pedersen in sixth, Jonathan Taylor in seventh. And that's the pace car. David Costello is back out on track after the run-in before. And there is Jimmy Nilsson having some repairs done. Car, of course, badly bashed up. We have here at the moment a fight for fourth position, and that is Andy Morgan, and he's being attacked by Johan Hallberg, who is just about a 10th behind. Johan gets in the draft a little bit here, has a possibility on that straight to catch up a little bit, with a bit of luck perhaps overtaking. See here the distance is closing. And he, however, stays cool and calm, and properly on the track, so he's still in fourth. Klaus Pedersen behind there is in sixth. Here we have an overtaking attempt, which doesn't work at all. Looks like he loses the rear end there. I'm going to go back and have a look at that, of course. And this is one of the places on the track that I talked about, it's very easy to just drift out a little bit far to the left and hit that wall, and then you're like a pinball machine, ball, or whatever you call it, and you just go bouncing between the concrete walls there, and that car is severely damaged, and you will not be able to continue from there, so we'll take a tow back to pits. So we have Andy Morgan in 4th, and Klaus Petersen now up to 6th. He's doing good lap times, and he's climbing in the climbing pole position at the time. And I'm pretty sure that he will make for the inside here soon on Andy. Going down the straight, the back straight on lap 5. Klaus is going on the inside of Andy Morgan. Nice clean pass. I think we'll be able to keep Andy behind him. Yes, no problem there. And Klaus is up to 4th position. Here comes Andy on the inside and taking back that position. So Andy got in the draft behind Klaus, used the higher speed and passed him. Well done. From the blimp view now on lap 6, you can see that the difference between Jelena and Jürgen is still about the same. It's about 1 second. Lap times at 1:35s, low 1:36s. Okay, James is in 3rd, but and Jürgen has left him behind. I think the gap now there is like 10 seconds or so. Von Alberg 8th position, he left after his crash. And Morgan there in 4th, right behind is Klaus Petersen, followed by Jimmy Nilsson, who is lapped. And David Costello also after being in pits. We're riding along here with Klaus Petersen on lap 7 as he's once again attacking Andy Morgan, and forces Andy to go wide there and sneaks on the inside. And now Andy and Klaus is neck on neck down the straight. Absolutely neck on neck over towards the chicane. That we have just before the start finishing straight, and Klaus here will be on the inside. I think this is a matter of who has the most guts, and of course Klaus also have a little bit better line there since he was on the right side of the track, so he overtakes Andy. So Klaus now up into 4th. In 5th, Jimmy Nilsson is a lap down, 9th, Taylor in 6th. The fight between Jürgen and Jelena continues. The distance between them are still about 1 second. The distance down to car number 3 is about 18 seconds. So looks like it's going to be a fight between the both of those two. These two. There is Jürgen hitting the right side of the concrete wall and then bouncing into the left side, damaging both front tires. And of course he needs to slow down. There is one man in these races, and it's pretty way through, and we are planning to be about 28-29. So now it's a question. Pitting in now, fuel will allow the race without having to pit. I think it will be forced to take tires, of course. So we will not coast into pits at this point. On lap 14, we have Jelena in 1st position, as expected. There we have Jimmy Nilsson. He has been into pits, so he's at least a lap down. Ricky James clings on to third position. Well, not actually clinging. He's a good. He's a long distance down to fourth position. The car behind him is Johan Hallberg, who is in eighth. He's a lap down. Klaus Petersen is in third position now since Jürgen pitted. And right behind him is Andy Morgan, followed by Jonathan Taylor in fifth. And here comes Jürgen Petersen, passes the start-finish line, and he's in sixth position. So the other cars will have to pit in as well in a couple of laps, and then things will start getting back to where they are supposed to be. David Costello there is in seventh. And there we have Jelena again, still running in the 135s. The best lap time for this race was the 1:35.292, and it was done by Jelena. Second lap was 0.05 of a second slower by Jürgen, 1:35.298. Well, that is 6 thousandths actually. So it was very close between the both of them. On lap 14, Ricky James then goes into pit to get some fuel and maybe tire. Klaus Petersen, so he will be up to second this lap, because you see there their finish line in pits. Do his pit stop from sixth position. We are now up to 17. Jelena is still in the lead. She hasn't pitted yet, and she will most likely pit this lap, because she should be out of fuel now any minute. Yes, into the pits, and everyone that is behind close enough to overtake is actually already pitted, so she will go out again in the lead. So next to pit will be Andy and Klaus. And here is Klaus, and Andy is gone. And where did he go? Let's go and find out. Actually on lap 17, just as Jelena was pitting in, he is still fighting Klaus. And all of a sudden he just lifts off and stops. And my guess is that he's out of fuel again, just like the race on Road America, where he ran out of fuel just a couple of 100 meters from the finish line. So there he is, took a quick tow to pits, and I would guess that is that he ran out of fuel. I haven't heard anything else, so let's say it's a fuel problem, and it looks like it. So, okay, too bad, Andy. That was a nice fight to watch. Jelena is in the pits. We have a timer running here, and it stopped at 17 seconds. That means that she only took fuel, no tires. That is what you can do on this track, since there are no long sweeping bends. It doesn't wear down the tires. All corners are more or less hairpin corners. So it's very kind to the tires. So Jelena exits again in the first position. Klaus Petersen here, it says second, and it should be, since he still hasn't pitted. On lap 18, finally into pit to do that, and he's really stretched it. So he will drop down now a few positions behind Jürgen for sure, probably behind Rick James, because Rick was quite far ahead when there's Jürgen passing on the outside. Rick was quite far ahead of Klaus when Rick pitted. So unless Rick have done something stupid on the track, like spinning or anything else. That's Rick James passing there on the outside. Klaus is off again, and that looked like David Costello behind. Yep, David in the pits. Okay, let's move up to the race leader. We are on lap 26, and we are riding along inside Jürgen Peterson's car as he is about to lap Andy Morgan. Morgan is still in the second position. Here Andy moves over to the left, letting Jürgen pass on the inside. Andy's car. We'll have a few more laps to go to the finish line, so let's go and have a look at the standings are like at this moment. Believe it or not, but Jelena Medvedeva is still in first position, and the gap down now to car number 2, which is Jürgen Peterson, is about 28 seconds. Rick James, well, we're not races yet, but this looks good. Klaus Peterson is in the 4th position, and this is the only fight saying that is going on with him and Jonathan Taylor. It's they're about getting apart. It's not much of a fight, perhaps, but they're watching each other on the track. David Costello, so they're 2-3 seconds behind. Yeah, there is David coming behind. Takes 6th position. Lapped cars there also in between. Jelena just received the white flag, telling us that this is the last lap. She's out on lap 28, and unless she crashes now on the last half lap, she's going to win the race. The race for Jelena has been more or less without any hiccups. I haven't seen the lap times look good within between the 35s and mid 135s to mid 136s, which indicate that it's been a well composed race, driving within her capacity. About 28 seconds behind still. Jelena went through the last chicane and headed towards the finish line. And there she is over the finish line. Well done, Jelena. Congratulations to the win. Here's Johan Hallberg, 7th position. A little bit overlap down. Yeah, the crash, as you remember, earlier in the race. Jürgen Peterson has had the visit on the concrete wall. Nevertheless, Jelena was a little bit faster on track every lap anyway, so fair finish result. Congratulations. Andy Morgan coming in 8th, and here is Rick James coming in 3rd position. Well done, Rick. One chicane to go. There he is over the finish line. Well done, Rick. Klaus Peterson. Jonathan there is just about 2 tenths behind. Nice to see that he's just not giving up, still fighting. Klaus Peterson in 4th, Jonathan Taylor 5th, David Costello in 6th. Okay, let's look at the result list. So we have Elena Medvedeva in the win, beating Jürgen Peterson with 29.8 seconds. Rick James in 3rd position, 1 minute 2 seconds behind. Klaus Peterson 1:24 behind. Jonathan Taylor 1:25 behind. David Costello 1:26 behind. See the difference between Klaus there and Jonathan was about a half a second. Johan Hallberg a lap down, and Morgan a lap down. Jimmy Nilsson was just did half the race distance. He had a couple of visits into the wall and finally gave up, which is a pity. So hopefully next race we're gonna have a little bit more participants. Villeneuve track is a little bit intimidating. There are concrete walls everywhere, and it is a slippery track. So hopefully we will have more cars next race. So I hope to see you again then. Thanks for watching.